I love to dress up and look nice, and I like things to be clean and put together, but in reality, that's not how things are every single day. I don't think they're real at all. Like, do they go and just like get a couple shots in their dresses and then they like go and get something else? Because I don't ever want my videos to feel like they need to be perfect either. Their personality is following the trend instead of finding who they are. My house is a mess, and that's kind of just how it is. Hi, my name is Brianna. I'm the Fertile Homemaker, and today we're talking about not living like a Pinterest-worthy life. Everything needs to be perfect. How you can still be happy and not feeling like you have to like have everything like everyone else is. It bugs me, and if this is your jam, then either like, that's cool, whatever, go do your own thing. But the whole like matchy homes, everything is white and aesthetic and clean, I hate that. And it's not like a direct hit, but maybe if you want to take it that way, you can. Anywho, I think a big problem with our society, mental health, is these like starch white, clean, set, perfect homes everyone thinks that are perfect, and that is not doable. It's not relatable. Well, maybe it is relatable because everyone's homes are like white and starchy. And then we wonder why our mental health are so bad, because we're not getting outside enough. We're not doing enough things. And something I just want to like talk about is like following the Pinterest trends, making everything perfect. So as I was coming up with like the name of the Fertile Homemaker, I felt like it was very fitting. Yes, I love to dress up and look nice, and I like things to be clean and put together, but in reality, that's not how things are every single day. And something I've tried to show is like things are not perfect, and not everything works out the way that you think they're going to be. Honestly, I don't even dress up anymore. And today I'm looking nice. It's Thanksgiving Day. I'm gonna dress up for a holiday or a nice little time like that. Kind of how life is. I like to kind of do that. But for the most part, like, I barely do my, well, I always do my hair actually. My grandma has said that if your hair looks nice, everything else can look like crap and it's fine. But you look if your hair's done, you look presentable. So I try to have my hair, but I rarely do any makeup anymore. I do always try to have some sort of clothes, but I don't feel like I need to follow the trad wife. Need to have a dress on and look nice and primpy every single day. Curling my hair is not like everyday thing by any means. And I think like that's it with social media. Life has become so unrelatable with your like trad wife, homestead mommies. Everyone is like hair's dressed to the nine. They're all wearing dresses to do all their yard work and all looking super nice. I'm like, no, I wear sweats when I go out to do work because I want to be able to like move all over around the dirt and move really easy. My hair's gonna be up in some like whatever I throw it up in, easy, put like a bandana on, we're good. Like anyone who's trying to do that, like I really can't imagine these like videos that everything's perfect. I don't think they're real at all. Like, do they go and just like get a couple shots in their dresses and then they like go and get something else? Because I don't understand how you can do like real work and then do real work and then get anything done. Like your housework, sure, you can do that. But even in that, like, I don't want to look super nice in my super nice clothes and then like do some of the gross work. Like, I don't know, like I just don't get it. And so that was part of the reason I chose it, because I'm like, I don't feel like I'm in like this aesthetic, like I can do that. When I do a project, it's like I'm just gonna do it, and I might not have everything ready, and I might be like half-assing it, but like I'm just gonna go off and do it, you know, like I'm gonna figure it out. And I do try to clean things up for like my clips so everything is not horrible. And my house, like, overall is probably not like the messiest it would be. But honestly, like sometimes you're like, maybe all the dishes aren't done, but I need to like get this canning done, so I'm gonna do it. Even though there's like canning that needs to be done, or there's dishes that need to be done in the background. But living this like aesthetic, like I feel like I'm going so many different places right now. We're gonna go back to home base and then like go off on these other tangents in a second. Let's go back to like your white homes, white starchy homes that like have no character. And I've really been looking into this lately because like we used to have so much color into homes, and it could bring a lot more nature or just like presence. and like character. And now it's just almost like every single home you go into is the same. All the walls are white. Everything needs to be like pristine, very minimal, and there's not a lot of character. And if there was like one or two like that, that would be cool, but I feel like everyone's doing that and not being authentic. And I think that's kind of where like this whole thing I'm trying to like roundabout kind of get to is being authentic. It's so easy to get stuck onto a trend and then just keep following that trend and kind of losing yourself. For example, so I have been carrying around, I don't even know where it's at the moment. Somewhere is, I didn't even bring it in here. I have my cup. Oh, here it is. My cup of water. I have been carrying around a cup of water like this for like 12, 13 years. Every single day, everywhere I go, people know I'm somewhere because they can find my cup. Like, this has just been me. In the last few years, the whole like Stanley chain trend came along and suddenly everyone had to have their cup. And I'm like, I just don't feel like I want to like, I'm not trying to hop on this trend. So I intentionally, like, I have a Stanley that someone gave me, but this is a Yeti. I try to keep my cups either like Yetis or other ones. Like, honestly, I'll just find, if I find a cute cup, I'm gonna find it. As long as there's a straw sticking out that I can drink easy. That's what I do. And so sometimes when it's like fun, interesting when you're like doing something that's like normally you and it suddenly becomes a trend and you're like, not the trend. I guess I'm in trend or in style or whatever. But it's kind of finding where your character is in your home. For example, I don't know, you go through all the styles, and as long as like I can remember, there's been so many different ones that people have to go through. And I think it's just finding your own kind of style, finding your own characteristics. And that doesn't mean like you don't take things that are trendy and incorporate it in, but it's finding those little things that you can be unique and throw in and be yourself that I think is really important. Like I kind of go with the Western, but it's also like a Western style in my home, but it's also kind of our unique style of adding little pieces and adding everything that's like fun. And my home really has not changed in decor for years. Like, I've kind of changed a few things here and there, but kind of kept it relatively the same because I want it to feel comfy. I want it to feel nice. And there's a problem with like your starchy white homes is they're not comfy. They're colorless, which also seems like they're devoid of happiness. But having more color, like, I love the home we're in now. It has more like brown kind of tanny walls, which I love. I really prefer that over white, but we're renting and that's kind of how it is. If it was mine, I definitely would probably do this shade. I love this shade. But I want some like colored walls more. I want some fun stuff going on. So that will be kind of our little jam. And by color too, like, I don't know, I don't love bright neon colors. I don't like bright colors. I love more like kind of fall colors, and so that's kind of how the style of my home will be, you know, all that. And so again, even bringing color doesn't mean it has to be like, we're gonna go back to like the 80s and have like neon. But it's having like fun with what you like and what you do, and not just following what everyone is, but finding you and being unique and following that. And I think on top of that, finding things that doesn't feel like you need to have like a perfect home. So this video right now, I'm filming in our kids' playroom. This is a mess here. That's all a mess back there. I think that like the playroom is so hard. I keep it relatively clean. And I've like packed up most of their toys into boxes, and then like anything that makes a lot of messes, they're not in here. But I have like bins of like certain things. Like they have like the big Lego blocks that they can play with, like the mega big Lego blocks. We have like these Magnos. So I have a few different toys that they can do like stuff like that. And then like there's books everywhere, there's cars and stuff. But I'm like, if you're not playing with this toy, we're gonna box it up, and either we get rid of it, or if I'm like, okay, I know they're gonna play with this eventually and they just need a little break, then we like box it. But if there's some toys where you're like, nah, I don't think you're ever gonna play with that, then we just donate it. So it's just kind of finding that balance, because I also don't think your home should just be like a big clutter mess of stalls, all that. And I think it's hard. Like, there's a point in your life where sometimes, like, you can't keep up. And so maybe asking for help to get to that point. Because I know sometimes when you get, like, so overwhelmed with a mess, it just keeps making it worse because you feel like you can't clean it. And so if that's where you're feeling like you're at, ask for help. If that be family, if that be neighbors, if that be friends, if that be your church family, asking for that help. Because you're not alone. But I think giving yourself grace that there can be little messes here and there. Like yesterday I was trying to clean up our living room. And I got one whole side done. It was all nice. I go the other side and I get it all done. I'm like, yes! And as I look behind, the first side was a complete mess. The kids decided to pull right back out their toys and play with everything. So I think it's just kind of finding grace. And I was just like, it was kind of sad because for me, I love being able to have it all clean. And then Logan would come home and it'd be all nice. And I just texted him, I said, hey, the living room was clean. Half it still is, half is not. And so he could come home to at least like have it being clean. And I think sometimes even just taking those ones of like, I did it. It's not like, it definitely was cleaner than before because, you know, I cleaned up everything. And so it's kind of finding that balance of not everything being perfect, not everything being like a pigsty. But if there's little messes here and there, you know, I think for me, if I can clean up like a mess within like 30 minutes or less, or I guess when I mess. If I can clean up a room like in 10 to 15 minutes, it's fine. If it gets beyond that, then you know it's like gonna be a really big issue. And so, having little things, I feel like everything needs to be perfect, but also trying to keep things so you can live. I think for me, I hate stepping over stuff. Like if I have messes, it's usually like on this chair or there, and I don't love like everything over the floor. I don't want to be stepping on everything. I want to be able to just like walk through. And so anything, if that ever happened, like would bug me. So I know like for me when I'm doing household chores, I love to do laundry. I do it once a week. I get everything done usually in one day. Sometimes it rolls over into 2 lately. But trying to get everything done in one day, and then I can spend like another day or 2 folding it and all that. And to me, I find joy in that I can do that every week. I really, really enjoy laundry. But there's other things like dishes or bathrooms I don't love to do. Like, I needed bathrooms more than I do. Dishes, I've been doing a lot better at keeping up, and I've been kind of finding some strategies around that. But I know for me, every single week I can get the laundry done, and I feel very, very proud of that. Yes, there's other things that are not perfect in my home, but I can focus on the things that I do love and that are bring me joy. So I think it's new, like in that point, because housework overall can feel very, very overwhelming. And so finding the things that do give you joy, and that you can feel satisfied with them every week, every day, whenever, how often you do them, maybe once a month. But then you're able, since you feel joy in those and you feel accomplished, you're able to then work on the other stuff you don't love as much. And then even the stuff you don't like is finding little secrets at things that help. I guess, for example, I don't love doing dishes. I think it's just, I hate touching like gross dishes, and then your dishwashers are down so low that it's like hard to like bend over, and I hate, like, just a whole other long story about that. But my little 2-year-old has decided he loves to do it, to empty the dishwasher. And so I've been taking advantage of that. That's became his chore. So I have him unload, which most of the time it's just him putting it onto the counter, but then I don't have to bend over. And he's feeling excited because he's doing something to help. He's having a fun project to do and feeling like he's a part of things. And I don't have to lean over. And so it's been more enjoyable because another thing is it's just fun because we're together and he's a part of something that I'm doing. And so it's a lot of fun there. So it's kind of finding those like little kind of secrets of things you can do to make things a little bit easier too. And everything's not as overwhelming. And I think even having like your home, your dream home, it doesn't have to be expensive. My favorite thing, it absolutely is going to the thrift store. And that's one thing that's been really easy is I bought all new plates. I already had cups. Plates, bowls, things like that. And then you know, some of the pieces, like if they break, I'm sad about, but it's not like the end of the world because they're from the thrift store. And the fun thing about thrift store too, it doesn't mean like I like kind of a more like old kind of Western style farm kind of feel, but you can go there and you can get some really nice dishes too that are not gonna look like as old or thrifted or stuff like that. So there's so many varieties no matter what your style is. You can make your style super easy. And it might not just be even like the first time you go, it may be like several times you have to go. So just try it. Just try it and see what happens. I think even like keeping up with like everything in life, I know for me, especially as I try to go more natural, it can feel very overwhelming of I can't get everything, I can't get everything done, I can't do everything. But finding like each thing at a time. So I run out of one thing and then I learn to make that. Or I switch to a cleaner version. Normally I make things because I just don't trust as many products. But kind of finding that balance of one thing at a time. Not feeling you do everything, but what's one thing in your life you can change right now. Or making things in bulk. I love, if I'm going to bake something, I want to make it in bulk. I'm not going to make a small batch. I'm going to make it in bulk and then I'm going to freeze it. And then I have it for like a few weeks. I don't need to worry about that. I don't feel like I'm making bagels every single day. I'm making them every few, like maybe once a month, you know? And so it doesn't feel as overwhelming, but also like I make my own laundry detergent. So I make that. I make a whole big batch. So if I find a recipe I like, usually like the first time I make something, I'll make a small one because I don't know how I'm gonna like it. But then after that, I start making a really big batch. So it makes it easier that way. But I think it's letting go of everything needing to be perfect in life. Just letting things be simpler. Even if you guys notice with my videos, like I have my kids and I could get help with them. I could have someone watching while I film. But one, I love having them around even when you have moments like this. But two, like I don't ever want my videos to feel like they need to be perfect either. I want you to be able to hear life, and kids are playing and they're making noises. Sometimes they decide to whine. And I have to deal with them and then I come back and film and all that. So just letting go of everything needing to be perfect in our social media, obscure Pinterest world. Everything has to be perfect, and just finding like that balance of be able to keep it up so you also don't go crazy with your mental health, but finding the joy in just life and being able to have everything just be you, then feeling like you have to follow every single trend out there, because I feel like that's so many people's aesthetic or their personality is following the trend instead of finding who they are and what that trend is. So I encourage you, find you, be you. And hopefully I'll see you guys again next week. Hope you have a great day, great night. God bless.